Hey everybody, Tomas Simatovic here with Team Horizon. Ethan's asked me to do another RealFlight video in his series of RealFlight instruction. And I thought there would be no better place to start than an introduction to 3D. I figure we'll just start with some basic starting maneuvers or building blocks to help you sharpen your skills. There are basic patterns for both helicopters and airplanes, and those building blocks work with a variety of different maneuvers. For helicopters, they are mostly yaw based or pirouetting based. So the right stick is going to be doing a lot of this in order to be doing their flipping maneuvers and that sort of thing. For airplanes, however, a lot of our maneuvers are roll based, which means we're going to be adding a little bit of both sticks, as you can see there. Now that's a pattern that you'll learn here in a second, and we're going to go over your entry to knife edge. We're going to do your 4-point roll, and then we're going to do a slow roll, and then I'm going to show you how all that works together with other rolling maneuvers. So let's start with the first one. Entering into a knife edge from upright. Why is this important? I'll show you why. If I am upright, I know that the first input that I'm going to give is rudder. And did you notice what I just did? My sticks went away from each other. And that is a rule of thumb when you are upright. The sticks either go away from each other or towards each other. Away from each other or towards each other. From upright, however. Now, if I were to do that from an inverted entry, that would look a little something like this. It's going to be either together or together. It just depends on which direction you want to go. But we'll save that for another day. So now that we've done the entry into the knife edge, now we're going to do the 4-point roll. Rudder, negative elevator, opposite rudder, positive elevator. Now I'm going to do that on low rate so you can see my stick inputs a little more pronounced. I'm going to need a little bit of throttle on this one because the rudder's going to be pretty weak on this. So here we go. Here's the entry. Rudder, elevator, rudder, elevator, rudder, elevator, rudder, elevator. Those are the basics. Now, what if we want to do a continuous roll? We kind of have to add and subtract what the plane wants. So if we start adding too much elevator and it starts pitching, well, then we're going to have to correct as needed. Now, how much rudder, when to get rid of it, all of those things you will need to get used to. But why is all of this important, you might ask? Well, you've probably been at the field and see a lot of guys do this. Does that pattern look familiar? Any sort of rolling maneuver is going to use that pattern. Now, let me land for a second, and then I'm going to explain how to do climbing and turning rolling maneuvers. You've probably seen some people roll and turn, and then roll and climb all at the same time. These are all either rolling loops or rolling circles, that sort of thing. So to climb, you're going to want to add more input. Notice how far my sticks are traveling. Notice how much rudder is being added. When you're trying to stay level, it's going to be smaller inputs. But when you want to climb, you're going to need to add more input. The aileron's either going to be the same or wherever it was you left it. But if you want to make turning rolling maneuvers, you are either going to make those inputs earlier, like I am here. Notice how I'm making it. But now, if I want to turn the opposite direction, I need to make those inputs later. And the reason is because every time you're inverted, you want to add that elevator component when you're in that bank. And same thing with the rudder. All right, so we've seen what turning rolling maneuvers look like. Let's see what happens when I want to climb in a rolling maneuver. There's that rolling maneuver, and I'm staying level. I'm adding that pattern. Now if I want to climb, I'm going to add more input and a little bit more throttle to help me up through that climb. I'm also going to add some more throttle at the bottom too because I don't want to crash. So there you have it. We've done entry to knife edge. We've done 4-point rolls. We've done slow rolls, rather. And then we've done climbing and turning rolling maneuvers. And there's one other maneuver we could look at. The other maneuver that a lot of people like is going to be the rolling harrier, and you'll notice it's the exact same pattern. And here's what it looks like. There's that pattern again, and I'm adding the throttle in a V position, or in a V pattern, and that's because I'm adding rudder and throttle every time I'm knife edge, because that's when it needs it most. And there you have it. And if I want to do turning rolling harriers, it's the exact same thing. I'm going to either make it later or I'm going to make it earlier in the pattern. And there you have it. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this installment of RealFlight tutorials. Keep your eyes peeled for more of these videos coming up soon. Have a good one, guys. Safe flying.